name is Max, and this is my speech, Chess Basics for Beginners. What are the chances that someone has ever asked you to play a game of chess and you never knew where to start? That's what I hope to accomplish in this speech today. I've been playing chess for about 5 years, and I know a lot about the game. According to Dean Talbot, author of an article about board game statistics, says that chess is believed to be the most popular board game of all time, with more than 3 million sets sold annually in the U.S. alone. By the end of the speech, I hope to tell you about chess and the 4 basics, which are movements, attacks, check, and checkmate. Let's start with a brief history of the game first. According to MacDonald, the author of the scholarly article, The Origin and Early History of Chess, stated, "Thus, the oldest Arabic and Persian authorities agree in ascribing an Indian origin to chess." This shows the origin of chess, which started in India, and it also confirms it with a more recent article by Colin Sapsinski from Chess.com, which gave a detailed history of the game. Says that an Indian game called Chaturanga eventually evolved into chess around the 16th century. This is an image of what Chaturanga might have looked like back then. Let's get a quick look at the pieces. There are 6 pieces on the board, which is the rook, knight, queen, king, bishop, and pawn. We'll start with how the setup works. This is just an image that shows how to set up the board from RegencyChess.com. Let's start with the pawn. The pawn can only move 1 space per turn and can only move forward. When it comes to attacking, it attacks the adjacent forward diagonal squares. And if it's the first time ever moving a pawn, you have the option to either move it once or twice. Moving to the rook. The rook moves from left to right and up and down, as shown in the image, and also attacks in the same pattern. The bishop. The bishop works diagonally both ways and can attack diagonally both ways and moves in the pattern shown on the board. Now onto the knight. The knight is a more complex piece that is in the game. So it moves in a total of 3 spaces, and its pattern it moves in kind of resembles an L. So for example, 1 space right, 2 spaces up, it kind of looks like an L, and it lands on any of the red spots that you see there. And when it comes to attacking with the knight, it just lands on any of the red spaces shown, using the L kind of look. Moving on to the king. The king is one of the most valuable pieces and dictates winning and losing the game. However, it is not very useful in that aspect, which is it only can move 1 space per turn and it moves in any direction. So any of the red spaces shown on the board. On to the queen. The queen is one of the most valuable pieces and is one of the most useful. It can move diagonally and perpendicularly, so left to right and up and down. It moves in the pattern shown on the board, and also attacks in that pattern. Now moving on to check and checkmate. So according to chess.com, check is an instance where any piece threatens the king. So in this instance, you see that the bishop has moved to a place where it is in the line of attack for the king. Now there's 3 ways to get out and only 1 way to get out in this instance. And that 1 way is either moving a piece. So for example, using the L pattern we can move it in front of the line of check and therefore eliminating it. 2 instances that are not available is either moving the king out of check, but the only way to move it is still in check, or taking the bishop or the threat. So if there was a pawn move advance, it could take it. Now on to checkmate. Checkmate is where there is an instance where check occurs and there is no way to get out of it. So in this instance, he advanced the queen, moving to the line of attack for the king, but there is no way to get out of it. And there's no way to prevent it, block it, or take the queen. Now that we've gone over the 4 basics of chess, which are movements, attacks, check, and checkmate. Now let's look at a quote from Maurice Ashley, famous chess player. And chess players understand that our mistakes are our greatest teachers. We embrace our mistakes. Now take that quote to heart next time you play your game of chess that you've learned to play now, and learn from your mistakes. Thank you.